Once upon a time, it was much easier to keep up with, not the K family, but pop culture. I love pop culture. I always have. I read the TV guide, never missed it. When it came in the mail, I knew when my shows were on, who was on them, who was guest starring. I read magazines, and I was just a kid. And then, was a teenager. I read magazines like Tiger Beat, a few others. I don't remember their names anymore. Oh, my seat's creaking. Sorry about that. Anyway, I put the posters up on my wall. Pop culture. Loved it. I think I might have gotten this love of pop culture from my mom. Fuff. Yes, that was her name. Fuff. That's what everybody called her, even us kids. Fuff used to watch the Merv Griffin show and the Mike Douglas show all the time. Heck, I even remember who Virginia Graham was. She used to be on the shows, and I think in the 50s and 60s she had her own shows at some point, but I don't remember ever seeing those, but I digress, which I do a lot. Okay, now what was the other point I was going to make? Oh, dinner time. Right. They used to be on, I can't remember, late afternoon, maybe early evening or something like that, but it was around dinner time. Speaking of dinner, I was filming some stuff last week and I was busy, and the old guy, very nicely, came down and he offered to make dinner. I said, hey, woo, yahoo, make dinner. Thank you. So went to the freezer, pulled out a Hawaiian pizza, and yes, we do eat Hawaiian pizza. I know you maybe think that's a little weird, but I'm going to do a video about Hawaiian pizza one of these days. Anyway, he popped it in the oven and I'm down here, filming my stuff. And after a few minutes, he comes down and he's like, Perdie, I burnt it. What? I burnt it. He burned it. Burnt? Burned. Burned? Burnt. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look that up. But anyway, the point is he burned the pizza. So we figured out something else to eat. No worries. It all came out good in the end. But I told him, next time you're going to do that, you have to cook it at aloha temperature. Back to pop culture. And back in the 60s and 70s, on those shows, people came out not to promote a new project like they do now, but just to be seen. Sometimes they had a new project, but mostly just to be seen. Nowadays, if you want to be seen, you just have to go out to dinner or, have a mugshot. These days, there's just so many more TV shows, so many more movies coming out. Streaming services, they all have their own series and movies. Not like it used to be. Once upon a time, there were 3 networks. That's in the US, and CBC in Canada. That's it, that's all. And regarding music, there's so many genres and subgenres of music these days. There's so many bands and singers. I can't keep up with them all. It's just impossible. And don't get me started on reality TV. That's a whole nother can of worms. And cooking shows. Cooking shows, they're everywhere. Now, the old guy, he watches some of them. He can put names to faces for a lot of the people on those shows. I can't do that. Years ago on television, we had Julia Child. We had the Galloping Gourmet. What's his name? Graham Kerr. It's not Carr. I looked him up. He's still alive. I just wanted to make sure I had his name right. There were a few others. I can't remember offhand. Oh, up in Canada, we had Walk with Yan, Stephen Yan. Used to watch that show once in a while. In the 90s, we had Emeril Lagasse. I still make some of his recipes. Martha Stewart was big on television. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is there are so many cooking shows. And with so many cooking shows, we have so many cooking celebrities. I can't keep up. It's almost as if everybody wants, I don't know, their 15 minutes of fame. Except now it's adjusted for inflation and it's an hour of fame. So right now it's award season. The Golden Globes were just on. But I don't watch award shows like I used to when I was a teenager and then into my early 20s. Basically back then it was the Oscars, Grammys, Emmys, and Tonys, although I didn't watch the Tonys. Anyway, waxing nostalgic. I remember as a teenager watching the Oscars, and then I'd go to bed and I'd lay in bed and I would practice my winning Oscar speech for Best Actress, of course. And then as the years went on, We had to include best director, best screenwriter, and best movie, of course. May as well reach for the stars. Do you now, or have you ever done that? I can't be alone. Maybe. Maybe you're a triple threat and you dream of putting that Tony on your shelf. Maybe you're a bathroom singer and you think you should have a Grammy. Maybe, what else is there? Oh, perhaps you're a writer and you would love to win a Pulitzer. Yeah, let me know in the comments about this stuff. I really want to know. Okay, back to the problem. Even though I check TMZ.com at least twice a day, I still don't know most of the people that they report on. I mean, I know some of the faces, I recognize some of the names. I can even put some of the names with those faces. But mostly, I have no idea who they are. And certainly, I might recognize them, but I don't know what they're famous for. I'm telling you, it drives me crazy. Well, crazier than usual anyway. I also like to check out the red carpet photos from award shows. But again, who are they? And where did they get their so-called fashion sense? Anyway, I know this is not important. It's basically, in the grand scheme of things, irrelevant. And did you know that anything that's not related to pachyderms is irrelevant? Anyway, I got places to go, people to see. I got a couple bathrooms that need to be cleaned. But wait for the riddle. Why did the actor take a broom to the Oscars? Because he wanted to sweep the awards. See you next time.